Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this very short video. We're going to be looking at tips, tricks and hacks around the caravan. Now I've got to give a very big shout out to Caravans and particularly to their TikTok account. Found some great ones on there that I wasn't aware of, and I did actually message Caravans to ask if I could do this video and maybe give them a shout out. So give them a follow on TikTok and I'm sure you'll learn a lot about maybe your new or your old caravan. We're going to have a look at a few different items in no particular order. So first tip, and this is the catalyst for making this video, this is something I saw on the Caravans TikTok that has just blown my mind. So a lot of caravans have got one of these. I don't know how many people have been reaching under here to release these two hinges to put the table down. You don't need to. There's two little buttons here. You just press them and it goes down. And you can do it one-handed because that kind of releases one and that releases the other. So we're just going to demonstrate this one more time from the underside. So up as normal and then press the two clips and down. Who knew? So you may wonder why we keep this here. You've probably seen it since the day that we started YouTubing. I've always had this little orange piece. I think it was probably something that we bought and it was a strap just to hold it to the box. When it's windy, this quite often does this and may keep you awake. So literally all I do, a couple of twists, and then that stops that from going anywhere. We don't use it very often, but in the wind it is really useful. And then when you're done with it, literally just fold it in half and again a couple of twists, and that just stays on there all year round. Whilst we're also on this bit here, again on the Caravans TikTok, you've got to check it out because they give you so many tips on there. I did already know what this was for because I put it in the Facebook group to find out if anyone knew what this little bit here was. And when you go and fill up your fresh water and you don't want this pump to be sat on the floor, you can leave it on there. If you're on a fully serviced site and you have one water tap, get one of these. It's a splitter, water splitter. They come in plastic or brass really, and I think the brass ones are probably a little bit better than this. So you would screw that on where you'd screw your normal pipe into, but then when it's on, you can attach your mains water into your aqua roll or directly into your caravan on that side, and then you can still use this side for filling the kettle or for filling water bottles, and you can isolate each one by just turning them round. So you can have your water on, this one off, and then when you want to come out, you can fill your kettle up. So a hack for storage is the microwave. Now we use our microwave for what we call soft storage. So in here we will keep paper kitchen towels, we will keep the paper linings for the air fryer and a microwavable plate. You can store things like bread, that sort of stuff, but I wouldn't store anything heavy in there because obviously when you're moving around then it would damage the microwave. Another hack that I hadn't planned but I will mention now, we also have these air fryer disposable paper liners, really cheap on Amazon. I think there's 100 in there, and they're just liners that go into your air fryer, so it makes cleaning, particularly in the caravan, a lot easier because they capture all the fat and all of the stuff that comes out of the food that you're cooking. So moving round the outside of your awning on your knees, particularly on hard standing, can be quite painful. Some of the stones are quite sharp. Now I'm sure some of you use foam boards and stuff like that, gardening boards that you can move around as you go in and place it down and then kneel on them. What we got was these. These actually come with Velcro straps on, so you can strap them to your legs and then they stay with you. So as you're going around your awning, you haven't got to keep moving a piece of foam board along. And as if by magic, here comes my twin to demonstrate for you. So if you've got your awning up and it's particularly windy, you may notice that the straps tend to do this a lot in the wind and it can give you a bit of noise inside the caravan. If you just twist a few times like this, just twist it all the way down to the bottom, then it'll still move in the wind as it is now, but you lose the noise, particularly on the inside of the Caravan. You may need to lengthen it slightly because obviously it's going to shorten the distance. So another top tip that we found via the Granthams TikTok account was using one of these, which is an awning peg ladder, which you normally use to peg your awning to the ground, but they were actually using it in the bedroom, in the wardrobe. So what they did was they clipped that around there like that. You can hang that one on the awning rail, and then you can take multiple other hangers and clip them on there, so you have some vertical space as well as horizontal space. However, these particular hangers that we bought serve a similar purpose themselves. So the actual hanger moves around, and I don't know if you can see, but there's a little groove at the top. So you move it to the top, and then you can hang them like that, and then you can hang your hangers on these 8 little holes. So this next top tip is to buy just a cheap telescopic mop. Now the beauty of this is the head comes off, so you can put it through the washing machine when you get home. But when you take down your awning, particularly if it's been wet, you will find a lot of water being pulled in on the roof, and then you can just deflate it, let it fall to the ground, and then you can wipe all of the excess water off it, which will make it easier for drying when you get home. So another little top tip that you will also find from Granthams, but regular viewers of this channel will know that we've already discovered this, is the little dustpan and brush that is stored under the lid of your bin. Just place it down here. So yeah, you have a little tiny, almost for crumbs on the side, little tiny dustpan and brush that just fits nicely the other way up, just fits nicely into that gap. Sometimes when you're going on longer trips, you may want to refill your gas but be unsure of exactly how much is still left in there. So I'm going to show you a little hack, and what I'm going to do is explain it to you, but I'm going to overlay a clip of how to test just how much is left in the bottle. So basically what you do is you disconnect the gas bottle, you bring it outside, boil the kettle, and then just pour the boiling water down the side of the gas bottle. If the weather is particularly cold outside, you'll probably be able to see the line, because obviously the gas is cold and you're warming up the outside of the bottle. You'll probably be able to see the line. If you can't, then as I'm demonstrating, you will be able to run your hands just sort of along the side of the bottle, and you'll be able to feel where the metal is going from warm to ice cold, really, and that is the line where your gas is currently at. So most fridges have a similar concept. In our Dometic fridge, we have this little clip here that pulls out, and basically, if I just shut the fridge, clips onto a little bar on the inside. So when you leave your Caravan in storage, you can make sure that you're getting airflow into there and you won't come into mould. So while we are on the fridge, we also bought one of these off of eBay, which is a little Perspex piece that has 4 Velcro dots on them. How many times have you walked past the fridge and you ended up turning it to a different setting, maybe to gas, maybe you've turned it up or down or off? You can just place this over the top. You can still see the lights, but it really dims them at night as well. And then however you touch it, when you walk past, you won't be changing any settings. Okay, so that is all of the tips and tricks and hacks that we have for this video. I will definitely be looking out for some more and maybe doing a part 2 later on in the year. If you have any that we're not aware of, then please let us know in the comments. And of course, if you found any of them useful, then let us know too. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.